Hi everyone, this is Matt. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to cover an AI platform which I really believe is all-in-one solution. It's brilliant, it's super helpful, and whether you're a master student, you're a PhD student, you're thinking of doing a PhD, you're a postdoc, you'll get lots of value out of it. And there is also a free version. What am I talking about? It's Kahubi and Avidnote. They recently created one website. They combined, and I'm so excited about this because I really believe in this. I think it's really, really good. So it will help you with writing, with reading, with analyzing your data, but also with transcribing your interviews, with writing code. So let's scroll down. Let's show you a few more features here. So yes, writing, reading, writing methods, generating research questions, analyzing data, transcribing your interviews, coding with AI. There is also an AI chat included here, sort of like ChatPDF or ChatGPT. There is this option that works a bit of like Mendeley or Zotero PDF viewer, which is also really good. And most importantly, you get all of this for free. So the free version, I believe, is quite generous. So they offer you to write 5,000 words a month. They offer you to transcribe up to 2 hours of voice into text. And you get all of the functions included, right? Now, if you wanted to upgrade, you could pay $19 per month and have, 500,000 words per month and have up to 10 hours of AI transcriptions available and few other features. But I believe that this on its own is pretty good. You can register here for free. All you need is your email, and once you do, you can log in, and this is what you will see. This is the starting interface. Now it's divided into a few sections here. So the first one is your PDF, Word, PowerPoint, Excel viewer. And this essentially works like Mendeley or Zotero, right? It's a PDF viewer, it's a document editor, you can write your notes. It also works like ChatPDF. You can ask questions, which is really, really good. Now you have your AI toolbox. So this is the old Kahubi. And again, you can write, you can read with AI, you can analyze data with AI, you can transcribe, you can code, you have a chat GPT option there. And also here you can see that there is your storage. So this is the online cloud they give you for free, up to 300 megabytes. So this is what Zotero gives you, up to 300 megabytes online. So this is the same deal here, which I think is absolutely fine. And you can see I already uploaded a couple of papers, so they are here. And I'm just going to start going through all of this. And we'll cover every feature, and you will see how brilliant it is. So we'll start with all papers. Now, these are the two papers that I uploaded. I know that this is not the great labeling, but you can change the labeling right here. Okay. You can change all of us. It will become clear to you what is what. If you accidentally delete a document, it will ask you for a prompt. Okay, I have deleted this. But if you change your mind, you do have a trash option here. You can restore this document with all of the notes and everything. So there you go. Yes, restore it. I'll go back to my papers. And yeah, they're both here. So let's open one of those. So I'll open this one. And now this is the paper here. Okay, this is again one of my papers. There I am. And so I can add notes. But actually, when you add notes, the editor opens up. So this is where you actually write your notes. So let's say I'm going to write hello. I will save this. And look, this note will always be here. I can always come back to it. Okay, and I can type in more notes and so on. And we have the AI option. But before we move to the AI option, I want to show you how the PDF viewer works. So just like in Mendeley or Zotero, you can highlight text, but you also have a freeform highlight, you have an eraser, you can draw, which is really, really good. You can add signatures, which is an interesting feature. You can sign these documents. You can add images, which is another interesting feature here, or stamps or links. So that's really good. You can add notes. Now, what is that? You can add text boxes. So that's also a very interesting, cool feature. Then finally, we can draw rectangles, clouds for some reason. Let's draw a cloud. Let's see what it's going to look like. There you go. I have a cloud. Weird. But I guess maybe someone will use it at some point. Okay. So, but I can scroll through everything. I can make notes. I can highlight text. So, for example, I will move to the highlighter and I'm just gonna start. I can highlight this way, but I can actually use the actual text highlighter, which is much better. And there you go. This is exactly like Mendeley or Zotero. Exactly the same feature. If I click twice on this, now I have these options here, right? Now I can underline the text, but I find this really interesting. I can actually cross out words. So if there is something you disagree with, something you don't like, you can do this. And I think that's a really, really nice feature to have. Then, okay, you have the AI. And now what it says here, there is a limitation. So the limit for the AI to handle the documents is up to 10,000 words. My document is a bit longer than that. It's 13,300 words. But still, AI is happy to handle this. But full document questions are not available. So, most of the papers you will deal with will be quite long unless you cut them into shorter pieces and upload them. But still, look, the common questions I can still ask is rewrite, summarize, explain, proofread, identify research gaps. Pretty cool. What is the opposite view? I found this very interesting. And translate to another language. Also very useful. So, if I click, for example, rewrite this, all it asks you is to paste the text, copy and paste the text that you want to rewrite. And that's it. Now, I asked this 2 questions before, so there are 2 prompts out of 10. This is, I can ask 10 prompts. And I asked 2 here on this paper. And look, I asked to rewrite it, and it actually gave me, a pretty good sentence, it gave me a pretty good answer. But you know what? I also decided to run this against AI content detector, and I picked CopyLeaks. And CopyLeaks shows me that all of this is AI generated. So it's probably not a good idea to just use this text as is. You would have to rewrite it. But it is a good way to help you understand what's going on. But I also clicked explain this to me. And look, it created a full explanation, which is correct. Everything here is fine. But also it created a glossary of terms for me. So there are 16 terms here explained, which is brilliant, which is such a good feature. So I'm very happy with this. And there's also a disclaimer that any citations or facts presented here might be incorrect. Always rewrite, verify, and cite paper sources. Now, the way they protect themselves here is they actually don't give you citations, which is a bit annoying, but if you actually just want to understand what is going on, rather than use this, copy paste this into your literature review or whatever it is, then this is great. This is definitely helpful to understand the text, to read faster. And what else? Everything here is correct. I haven't spotted any mistakes. So even though there is a disclaimer, still, this was a really good answer. So I'm very happy with this. Okay, so this is how this section works. We can go back to home. We can go back to papers here. But look, now I created this note and it's saved here, which is really helpful. Okay, now I can also create projects. I haven't created any, but you can basically create folders for your papers, for your projects, which is really useful. And then we have the AI toolbox. Now, it is divided into 4 sections here. So this is my plan here as well. So I have 5,000 words to start with. I already used some of them. I have 1,000 characters as well. And I have 120 minutes. So this is for transcription. So this is what we have. I have some statistics here as well. And then let's just jump quickly to AI templates. So now there is so much value here. So let's go through this slowly. So first of all, education. So you can ask Kahubi to plan your lessons, to grade your students, to solve problems. Okay, to give you some good ideas for this. Now, if you are in qualitative research, especially, or if your research is based on interviews and surveys, then this section is really something for you that you should check out. So look, it will suggest interview questions, survey questions. It will analyze your data. I would assume that the data from a survey would be the best. It will analyze your interview transcripts. It will generate CSVs. It will label speakers in your interview transcript, which is so useful. And it will also code your interviews. So it is really worth checking out if this is what you're doing. But also on that note, I'm gonna quickly jump to AI Transcribe because this is linked to that, and here I can upload recordings from interviews up to 200 megabytes, up to 120 minutes long, and it will automatically transcribe them. So I actually already did this. So let's go to saved transcripts. And there you go. Here is my transcript. Let's open it. And this is the file. This is what this is the file. This is exactly what I said. So this is all correct. And this was generated within a couple of seconds. So it's really, really good. I mean, it was only 25 seconds, but it gave me all of this information correct, these 75 words. So I was very pleased with this. And I would definitely recommend giving this a shot. And let's now go back to the AI toolbox. Sorry, AI templates. And what else do we have here? If you are going to publish any of your work, or if you are going to start a PhD soon, you're thinking of it, look, it will help you to create a research proposal. It will give you some ideas. It will create a timeline for you, okay? Then suggest future experiments, suggest some research conferences for you, even journals that you could potentially publish and that could be relevant to you, Twitter threads. Well, Twitter is very common among academics, so that does make sense. It might be very useful, actually. I'm not that active on Twitter, but a lot of academics are, so this is actually a really nice idea. It will help you create a title for your study, and it will, identify research gaps for future. So that's really, really useful as well. Now, this is your chat GPT option here. We can ask anything, you can translate text, you can ask questions based on a text as well. So this is sort of like ChatPDF. And then we go back to reading, and some of these options you already saw when I was playing with that article a few minutes ago. So, but look, you have proofreading options explaining what's the opposite view. Now that is just really interesting. It may not be correct, but it will give you an opposite view. So if you're writing a literature review, especially if you're working on a systematic literature review, which is a research on its own, actually hearing what it has to say about the opposite view might be really useful. It might give you some really good ideas and food for thought. Critique these, again, good stuff, and then it will create summaries for you as well. Now, when it comes to writing, it will write anything, literature review, introduction, discussions, results, methods, abstract, all of this, whatever you want, even a historic overview. And then you have some help with methods as well. So look, it will create research questions for you. It will suggest research methods, identify research gaps. It will write a paper outline for you. So lots of really, really useful features. And let's go back on this now. And, I got really interested in writing literature review here. So I did ask it to write one for me, and I saved the answer somewhere here. Saves AI answers, I believe. So this is the first thing I did. Yeah, write literature review. And I asked to write 300 words long literature review. So teeny tiny. Now I run this text on copy leaks again. It's all AI generated, immediately highlights. But There are some really good ideas here. Everything that it said is actually correct. I am happy with this. There are no citations. Again, we have this disclaimer that any citations or facts presented here might be incorrect. Always rewrite, verify, and cite proper sources. Well, everything here is correct, but there are no citations. It is definitely AI generated as per copy leaks. So you should always rewrite and verify this. But if you are thinking about the ideas, if you are looking for keywords, something that you should talk about in your literature review, then this is a great place to go, because it might talk about something, give you ideas that you haven't thought about, right? So following from here, ideas and things to talk about, this was my other question that I had for it, and this was about the keywords for literature search. So this is another brilliant feature that it gives you, and I asked to provide keywords for literature review titled the impact of aberrant RNA-DNA hybrids on development of neurological disorders, which is basically what a lot of my PhD was about. And it gave me 10 keywords, which are spot on, which are correct. But even better, it gave me these search queries. It combined these keywords. So R loops and neurological disorders. And this is such a nice feature, but it's giving me "and" in the capital letters to copy paste. And in this way, the search engine like Google Scholar or PubMed will immediately read this "and" as a function, and it will know that it needs to look for articles where the word R loops and the phrase neurological disorders happen in that article, right? We don't have to be back to back. We just need to be somewhere within the article. So that's really, really good. And also the last one is quite long, and R loops and neurological disorders and methods. Okay, so what is the method you want to use? And it is explaining to you to replace this with a specific method that you are using. And it's giving you, a suggestion here, next generation sequencing. So this is really useful. This is actually really good. You can always upload papers, and then you have these all other options. So this was AI transcribe. We already spoke about this for a second. You have AI code here. So it will code for you, and you you can pick a language. There are quite a few of them, and you can provide instructions, and it will generate this code for you. And then finally, there is an AI chat option here. And again, some of these features do repeat. So you have ChatGPT, you have English translator, LaTeX code. That's really cool, right? Because a lot of us academics do use LaTeX when publishing papers. So that's pretty useful. And then, we're going back to these writing features and reading features. So rewrite, proofread, explain, summarize, and expand. That's quite interesting as well. We usually don't need to expand text. You usually need to make it shorter. But when you ask the AI to expand the text, it might actually give you extra detail, extra information, something to talk about, some food for thought again. So it is useful. All in all, I would say, as I go to homepage now, what you get is brilliant with this 300 megabytes, with an AI research toolbox, with that Mendeley / Zotero viewer with ChatPDF integrated into it. And also, you will get more free storage if you invite users. You can leave some notes for them. And, well, let me know what you think, because I really think this is a brilliant feature. And if I was still doing my PhD, I would be on it all the time, especially when I was writing my, literature reviews after the first year of my PhD, the summaries, when my PhD thesis and so on, any papers, grants, all of this stuff. I think it's just such a good AI platform, all in one to use. And I know I'm talking about it like I was getting some money for it. I'm not getting any money for it. I just genuinely think it's brilliant. So give it a go, check it out. If you love it, then consider maybe upgrading. It is $19 per month. But even if that's too much for you, or you don't want to pay for the upgrade, then I still think what you get with a free version is pretty generous, and it gives you, a lot of possibilities, a lot of things to do, to play with. That's it. If you benefit from this, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.